I'm an idiot. I'm not an idiot. YouTube changed their streaming stuff. All right? So this is what I'm looking at now. But my second monitor is tall while this monitor is wide. So I was seeing it like more like this. And I could not find the go live button. Where's the button? Here's the button, but I can't see it on my second monitor. Well, there, right there in the corner. There's where it says in stream. It said go live, but if I had it like this, nothing. There was nothing wrong with the way YouTube used to do live streams. It used to be fine. I used to just be able to hit... Excuse me. I used to be able to hit stream on OBS and it would work, but now I got to jump through all these hoops. Anyhow, my internet is terrible. It will go in and out and in and out. So if the stream suddenly stops, there's nothing I can do about it, and I apologize. So aggravating. This is terrible. My internet speed is going up and down and up and down. It's a huge roller coaster. Like sometimes I'll have 30, 100, 3,000 kilobits a second. Sometimes I'll have 95. Sorry about that. Anyhow. Been a while since stream on YouTube, eh? Yes. Yes, it has. And I think I'm going to do it more often because I'm finding it harder and harder to find the time and the motivation to edit normal videos because of a number of reasons. You don't need to know all of them. What am I, your mom? I don't know. Anyhow, we are doing this today, right here, right now. Well, not this. We're writing down a whole bunch of references. That's right. APA citations. That's what we're doing today. No. Well, we are doing that, but we are taking a whole bunch of flat Earth claims and then just responding to them in a book that maybe you'll be able to buy one day. Probably not. But it's fun to do. I kind of like doing things even if it's never published. So how are you guys doing? Guess what? What do you want? If the Earth is flat, what's on the other side of the plate? Who's to say that there is another side? Maybe it goes down infinitely. You don't know. We get a few hours of sleep before an exam. Go to bed and have work today. Good night. All right. Well, good night, everyone who is going to bed right now. Sorry that it's terrible timing. My internet sucks. My internet was doing just fine like right before I started streaming, and then when I actually go to use the internet connection that I'm paying for, it's just like, no, screw you. Anyhow. I started the stream. I didn't even talk about politics yet. Did you guys see Trump? Things are going on with Trump. What about football? Did anybody catch the football? That's a thing that was happening. All right, well, enough about you. Let's talk about the flat Earth and how the sun is a spotlight. First, we need a good quote to put down, and I think this is it from the FAQs from one of the Flat Earth societies. I still am not quite sure why there's two Flat Earth societies, but it's kind of fun. Thanks, but I'll stay up a while. Ah, come on. You got responsibilities and stuff. I say that, but I can hardly fall asleep at night, so I'm usually up watching YouTube or finding something on my Plex server that I want to watch, which, by the way, that's one of the things I've been doing. I have tons of DVDs. I'm putting them on a Plex server. That's fun. Greetings from Lithuanian anti-flat earther. Lithuania, huh? It's so interesting, all the different areas of the world people will watch my boring channel from. I don't know, it's interesting. According to my analytics, most of them are from the US, so that's boring. The Earth is a cereal bowl. Makes sense. Alright, so we have two quotes here. Let's see if we can get a better quote from this one. No, we can't. Wow, I'm getting 900 kilobits a second on this stream, which is terrible. Absolutely terrible. So sorry if the stream looks like crap or stops suddenly or just all around bugs out. It might not be you. It's probably me. Or rather my internet. Oh boy. It's one of these days I'll upgrade my internet. I'm sorry if us Americans aren't interesting enough, okay? I mean, I'm American too, but it's just like, for everybody, I don't know, we need to be multicultural, you know? We need some diversity on this channel, and I don't know. Maybe I'll start speaking Spanish on my channel. Wow, we hit 0 kilobits a second there. Ooh. So, this seems like a good quote. Let's copy this. We can copy this whole thing and just insert a few ellipses. So we need this to be the quote. It was quotations, right? Yes, quotations. We will hit, I want to paste it without formatting. There we go. Add some quotations, because that's what we do with quotations. And then there we go. Day and night cycles are easily explained on the flat Earth. The sun moves in circles around the North Pole. It is over your head. It is day. When it's not, it's night. The light of the sun is confined. I don't know if we need this bit. Sun moves in circles around the North Pole. The light of the sun is confined. Okay, so there we go. Nice and concise. Water is always level, and you see too far the Earth to be a spinning globe in space. You know what? You're completely right. I didn't think about that. Absolutely. How is everyone doing? Like Salud says. How are y'all? I'm doing good. I'm doing just fine, doing dandy. I had a huge migraine yesterday. Couldn't really do anything. I'm lucky I was able to fall asleep, but I've been having terrible migraines. But right now I'm good. So that's how I'm doing. By the way, this background music is by Technoax. He's one of those royalty-free guys, so I kind of have to credit him, and this is me doing that now. Technoax with a K. So, we need this to be text body. We also need to, let's see. There we are. This is what I wanted. 2018? Did I start doing this in 2018? Oh man, I've been putting this off for a long time. There we go. Why is it doing the... Alright. Here. So it'll have the proper thing. I actually fix that because there's... Where did you... See, look, there's the agnostic quotation marks, and then that's the closed quotation marks. We gotta fix that. We can't have that. Anything? Okay, so that has it just fine. All right, that's good. Thank you. Can we go away? How do I? Is there any way to close this? There are. So our LibreOffice is really confusing sometimes. All right, so how do we respond to this? I try my best to reference some sort of scientific source, but sometimes I just don't have to do that. So what's the best way to respond to the idea that the sun is a spotlight? Because on the page, it does clarify that sun rising and setting is apparently due to perspective, so we can't use that as evidence against it. At least not without responding to the whole perspective argument, which I should do eventually. Which, did I do that? The sun is a spotlight. Sunset. Sunset. Let's see. Set. We have vanishing point. Vanishing point accounting for sunrise and sunset. Alright, so I guess we'll... Alright, so this is heading 2. Alright, that's heading 2. Perspective counts for the sunrise and sunset. And there we go. So we're going to have to respond to that later. So how do we respond to the sun being a spotlight without going in depth in the whole perspective thing? We got a flat earther. Just ignore him, guys. Don't feed the trolls. If you guys are annoyed by him, you don't have to respond to him. So I don't know what you want me to do. Like, I'm not gonna ban him unless he's spamming or inflaming. But if you think he's a troll, then don't feed the trolls. Otherwise, I don't know what to tell you. But yeah, so Thomas, yeah. Just don't believe we live on a spinning ball that's spinning through space. Alright. Does FE stand for flat earth? Yes, it does. I try not to put it in the title as flat earth all the time because YouTube may or may not be cracking down on the flat earth topic even when somebody is disagreeing with it. I don't really know. I also, apparently when you put flat earth in the title or the description, you'll have a whole bunch of flat earthers coming and spamming the chat or otherwise trolling. Not to say that there aren't genuine people trying to have a genuine conversation. It's just that you'll be flooded with a lot of bad actors. Is that the term I'm looking for? So I try to avoid that headache and kind of just focus on the audience I already have. I hate my hair, dude. I don't hate it. I love it. It's just difficult. What part of the spinning globe are you all on? I'm in Louisiana. How about everyone else? How can you have a high pressure next to a vacuum without a barrier? Easy question. There's easy answer. There's got to be a force applied to the atmosphere to keep it in one location over another. That's called gravity. Vacuums don't suck. At least not inherently. I'm underrated? I don't know. It's hard to tell when guys in the chat are talking about other people in the chat or they're talking to me. So if you're telling me that I'm underrated, thank you. I agree. So your hair is a hate-love thing? Yeah, it's like a pet. Like a dog. It's cute. You love it. You want to keep it. But sometimes you just want it to die so that it could stop annoying you. You know what I'm saying? Sure, we all feel like that. Anyhow. So what's the best way to respond to the sun being a spotlight? I would be better at thinking if I wasn't doing this live and feeling pressured. We got to respond to the perspective thing. I have to say, here we are. First off, the sun nor the sun set can be explained purely by perspective. And then I'll say see. What are these, chapters? I don't know if these are chapters. we'll say perspective. There's a word. Section. Hello, Bob the Science Guy. What do flat earthers say about 60 mind-blowing Starlink satellites? What do flat earthers say about 60 mind-blowing Starlink satellites on the night sky? They, in my experience, they don't say anything about it. I mean, I'm sure if I looked it up, I could find several videos, but from like casually viewing flat earth stuff, as we all do, you won't find a whole lot of people talking about satellites, because I think they don't believe that there are satellites up there, or that we sent them, or that they're staying up there just on their own by gravity. In fact, Jeranism, one of the big dogs, if you guys have never heard of Jeranism, first off, I envy you if you've never heard of Jeranism, but he created a video where he filmed the ISS, the International Space Station, flying in front of the moon. Like, he saw it, he captured it on camera, and he even said in his video, yep, sure, there's something there. And then he concluded by saying, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a satellite. Who knows? It could be a projection from the government trying to fool us or whatever. He didn't say that, but it's never, they never accept the facts. They never will. Would you tell Thomas that Wikipedia is not a credible source? I will not, because I use Wikipedia religiously. Not exactly religiously. It's not... Look, it may not be like a source per se, but it's a very good starting point on research, especially since Wikipedia cites its sources. So as long as Wikipedia's sources is fine, Wikipedia is for the most part correct. So that's one of my pet peeves. I know, not trying to make you feel bad or anything, but like, Wikipedia is better than some people think. Like, sure, you can edit it if you want, but there's a whole slew of people like watching over those edits, making sure that all of these edits are sound and correct. And if the community finds something wrong with any Wikipedia page, they will either delete it, get rid of it in cases of, what do they call it? Not sabotage. There's a word I'm looking for. Whatever. People bullshitting on Wikipedia, they'll either get rid of it, or they'll put a tag to let you know that it's not reliable. They'll say like, it needs better sources, that sort of thing. Oh god. Okay, there's this little bar in the corner of my streaming software telling me just how bad my internet is. I don't need it mocking me right now. Every time I look at it, it's depressing. It's like, okay, we're gonna dip to 0 for a second. So I'm gonna have to reiterate, if you guys see my stream going to shit, it's probably my fault. But I'm very surprised if a flat earther is citing Wikipedia, because Wikipedia very strongly disagrees with the flat earth. Like, they have a page for the flat earth model and a page for the round earth model. And if you guys are the kind of people to just read Wikipedia like I am, then you might be interested in just reading those pages. Go ahead and look it up if you care. It's kind of boring. And but it's pretty informative. I'm a Wikipedia shill. What do you want from me? Anyhow. Great. I guess if I put FE in the title, we get flat earthers coming in here anyway. So that's fun. Not as bad as it once was in the peak of flat earth YouTube. But chat's fun. There are no materials on Earth that could withstand the termination line with an alleged orbit and go from thousands of degrees Fahrenheit to hundreds of degrees below zero instantly. Alright, dude. Sure. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. Like, things aren't just going to instantly freeze in space. Space isn't like... I don't know how to explain it. Like, you still get radiation from the sun in space. Like, it's... I don't know. Never mind. Forget I said anything. What I'm saying about them reading Wikipedia and saying it says the Earth is flat, I would go further into... Okay, so they're quoting Wikipedia. Wikipedia says the Earth is flat. I would ask, if you can, go back to where it originally said that, because I doubt it says what they think it says. Because flat earthers, in my experience, they love to cherry pick their quotes from all sorts of people. So, if you read the context and just read more Wikipedia, I'm sure you'll find that Wikipedia does not think that the Earth is flat. Your head hurting? No, at least not as it was yesterday. When you have excruciating migraines, you kind of get like you learn to tolerate pain. You sort of grow into this pain tolerance. Maybe that's why I can withstand flat earthers. Because, like, my life is a constant headache, so this is no different. Hello. Hello, person who said hello to me. Anyhow. So. I'm just going to put down a few points and then elaborate on them as far as the sun being a spotlight. So one point is going to be that flat earthers... I'm not sure if that's how I'm going to spell flat earthers. That seems most correct to me, but I don't have any reason to. We'll edit it later. I'll send this to my editor once I get an editor. Flat earthers provide no mechanism fails to reach sun's light. I don't know. I'm terrible at wording things. You might think, oh, I'm a YouTuber. I talk to people for a living, but that's after scripting and editing out all the outtakes, usually. I can relate to chronic pain. Yeah. Feel bad for anyone who has to go through it. Do you agree with me that if the sun was going around a little pole, if you were standing in one spot, it would get bigger and then smaller as it goes over you? Yes, that's completely right. We call it the angular size. The angular size would change as it goes throughout the sky. But some flat earthers will say, oh, it does change, but when you measure it, it doesn't. And others say that it's perspective. Others will say that its atmospheric refraction so like no matter what explanation you give, they're going to come up with more ad hoc hypotheses so that you can never falsify their claims. But you are correct. In fact, I think this is a good place to put that. The sun would change angular size throughout the day. The sun's light only reaches a certain area. I'm gonna have to reword this and make it better. There's that. Let's update this index. There we go. Nice updated table of contents. The moon is a spotlight. It's funny how the light we see on the moon is always facing the direction of the sunset, but dark is the opposite side. Sorry that my internet is going in and out. I know I'm repeating myself. Maybe there's like new people coming in and the stream looks terrible. It's not you. It's me. It's my internet. Ever discussed with Effie how we tell time? No, not really. Haven't really discussed that much because I don't know, with the common flat earth model, like you can sort of understand how the time zones work, if that's what you mean. There's, I don't know, not entirely sure what you're asking, but no, I haven't really discussed it. All right, so what else is wrong with the sun being a spotlight? Since flat earthers tend to that the sun is small and close to the earth, the sun would change angular size throughout the day. Stream is fine without interruptions down here in Australia. From what I've heard, Australian internet is terrible, so thank you. That means a lot. Just my bit rate is going up and down, so glad to hear it. No problems with connections here in Oklahoma. Yeah, it shouldn't really matter where you are. Like, if my thing isn't going out well enough, it's just like everywhere it's going to be terrible because my stream is terrible, if that makes sense. But if it's fine for you guys, then all right, then we're doing this. Time is related to the heliocentric model. On a flat Earth, we couldn't tell time since they can't locate the sun. Well, I mean, I don't know. With the way flat earthers think the Earth works, sundials would still work. You know? I mean, we could still create, like, clocks. Like, all of them. Like, the astronomy would be completely messed up, yes. But, I don't know. They'd find a way to explain it, is what I'm saying. Hey, babe. Why are we not on the moon in 2020? Why don't we have a camera on the moon in HD? Well, for one thing, NASA nor any other space agency is out to prove themselves to you, conspiracy theorists who think the Earth is flat. Two, we don't have an HD camera there because we haven't been there since the 60s or 70s? I forget which one. We haven't gone there because the government quit funding NASA the amount of money that they need to in order for them to make huge progress in space travel. No, not always bad internet. I just switched over to the national broadband network. My speeds went from 7 megabits to 49 megabits. Okay. Well, I live with other people, right? And the shower is like right on the other side of that wall. So sorry if that annoys you. I'm not going to do anything about it. We're just going to let them be. Whoa. All right. All right. Here we go. Knocking over everything. First 169 is probably when I... Yeah, right. Because I only remember... The only one that I really studied a lot was the one in 1969. So I don't really know when they stopped doing it. So yeah, 70s. So, sun is a spotlight. Sun is a spotlight. What else can we say about the spotlight sun? Right, no. Because they don't, flat earthers don't explain what keeps the sun in the sky and circling in a constantly changing direction without any obvious force. Like, no, so we're going to put that here. No explanation for the sun hovering over the Earth, nor any explanation for the sun's constantly changing direction without any obvious force nor any mechanism for which sun's light only reaches a certain area. Doing live streams like these mostly attracts the ignorant flat earthers. That might be right, but It was either me do this, or you don't have any content for me from me for a while. So I think I'm going to do more live streams. Hopefully, as I do it, get more practice, I can make this more interesting. As someone said in the chat, I think it's kind of fun. Sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your name, nor do I want to try and fail. Thank you, New Jack RC, for the $5. Hey, there we go. Here's some shekels for you. Just keep being you, bud. Thank you. I plan on being me for as long as I can. Thank you. Appreciate it. First off, neither the sunrise nor the sunset can be explained purely. No, we'll change that to solely by perspective. I think I should elaborate this before directing them to the perspective section, because perspective cannot make something obstruct another thing if it wasn't already. Let's say the sun could not be obstructed by the earth or any other object or body. We'll just say anything else perspective cannot cause the sun to be obstructed by the earth or anything else if it wasn't already. And then we'll explain that when I get there. Earth to appear obstructed. That makes more sense. Because perspective is all about appearance. You know what? We're going to go back to that. And I'm just going to maybe just continue to the moon emits its own light. We'll just find see if they have that here. Moon. All right, so they don't mention the moon in the FAQ. The planets are round, why isn't the Earth round? All right, so we're gonna have to go to Flat Earth Wiki. Look up. Moon's appearance. Let's Samuel Robotham. They're going back to Earth, Not a Globe by Samuel Robotham. Let's see if we can find anything about the sun emitting its own light, because I know flat earthers say that. I just want to find a place where they're actually saying that. Whenever we exhibit celestial objects, so an experience of observers, it is usual to proceed with a view, good drawings of the objects accompanied by explanation of what each appearance exhibited in telescope indicates. The novice is told that mountains and valleys can be seen in the moon by the aid of the telescope, but it can. But on looking, he sees confused mass of light and shade, which nothing looks to him like either mountains or valleys. They look exactly like mountains and valleys. His attention had been previously directed to a plain drawing of a moon. And each particular appearance interpreted him, he would have looked to the telescope with intelligence and satisfaction. Oh boy. So I think was it Galileo who observed the moon, did some detailed drawings of it, and then wrote about how there were craters, mountains, hills, valleys, these sorts of things. This quotation here seems to be responding to that with, nuh-uh. Okay. But that, doesn't help. Who made the first drawings? Who first interpreted them? Unmeaning figures. Let's see. Thank you for the $9.99. Thank you for the $9.99. Aquatic llamas. Do you know of any flat earthers who has converted back to sanity? Here's 10 units of wealth for the hard work. Thank you. I actually came across one guy the other day because he subscribed to me. Because you can sort of see if somebody subscribed to you, if your subscriptions are visible. Again, okay, thank you. Now you're popping up on the screen. It takes you a while to pop up on the screen, but there was this guy. I don't think I'll be able to find him now. But, I mean, yes. Yes, I have. It was kind of interesting. Because, it was, what was it? Conspiracy Cats? Who he said convinced him, because there was some YouTuber that responded directly to what he said, and then he was all like changing his mind. It's kind of sweet because he was like embarrassed, kind of ashamed almost, and it's like, I don't know. I could tell it took him a lot of courage to change his mind about what he was so sure about before. What's up? Not much, just doing boring stuff, researching the flat earth, arguing with people on the internet. You know how it is. The chat's arguing about, I think, the moon's light. So that's fun. Feel free to join in on that conversation. I am ignoring it. That's MCC, help change his mind. Yeah. Yeah, so they do exist. Sorry that I can't find him at the moment. But yeah. Alright, so let's go. Near silent phases of the moon. Is this what I'm looking for? Phases of the moon. I think I'm going to have to add all of these. Because what I'm making is, I don't know if I've explained it in this video, but what I'm making is a flat earth handbook, kind of. The flat earth arguments and their refutation. I did not mean to do that. Why did they? And that's sort of what I'm doing. It's a handbook that has a list of all of the arguments that, well, all of the good arguments that I can remember flat earthers saying, and then like responding to them point by point. Because this is my idea of fun. This is what I do in my spare time when I'm not playing video games, watching TV, or doing a number of other things. This is one of the things that I do in my spare time for some reason. So it may sound weird, but I listen to your videos to fall asleep. Well, I watch them also. Well, thank you. No matter how you watch them, the ad money is all the same. So thank you. I mean, I completely understand. I don't typically have like music in my videos or whatnot. It's just me talking. Someone's vacuuming back there. Electromagnetic energy keeps the sun hovering above us. That makes sense. That makes total sense. Electromagnetic energy keeps the sun hovering over us. That's why everything that is ferromagnetic is just kind of floating up in the air. You know, paper clips, they would never stay down here because electromagnetic energy would keep them up there. Why is it the sun and nothing else that's reacting to this electromagnetic energy? Am I going crazy? I feel like I'm going crazy. Electromagnetic energy keeps the sun hovering around the Earth. You know what? I'm going to put that down here and I'm going to get to it. I might reorder these later. We'll see if I can find it somewhere where I can actually cite it. But electromagnetic energy keeps the sun hovering above the Earth. And I'll respond to that when I get there, which I may or may not do anytime soon. Kindle has an ebook creator for you to self-publish when you're done. I know, I think I've heard of that already. I know it would be easy. It'll be pretty simple for me to publish ebooks because you literally have like 4-year-olds publishing ebooks, especially to Google Play. Look up Minecraft on Google Play Books or whatever, and you'll see a whole bunch of like fan things by people under the age of 12. So I don't think it's all that complicated, but I would love to have a hard copy of this. And that's going to be a little bit more expensive, a little bit more pricey. Maybe that's going to be like a special edition, whatever. Maybe I'll do a giveaway of a fucking hardcover book written by yours truly. Magnetism is a government lie. I love it. I love it. Magnets are a lie. That would explain a lot. Like magnets, how do they work? May I contribute to this handbook with my very first picture of the ISS? Sure. Actually, I would love that. If you could email me, or if you look at my channel page, my description, you should be able to see my business email address, which I shouldn't be saying that because now I'll have flat earthers on the stream spamming me, as they do. But if you send me that via email, as long as in the email, give me permission to use the image so that way you don't sue me later, I would love that, and I would appreciate it very much. In fact, I'll credit you if you want. Just, write me an email. Tell me how you want me to credit you. If you want me to credit you, give me permission. Give me that image, and I would love it. That being said, I have no idea if I'm even publishing this in the first place. And if I do, it could potentially be years, because this could end up being a huge project with me trying to do all of this. So I would appreciate it, but don't be offended if it never happens. Thanks? No, thank you. Thank you very much. You cannot have both magnetism and temperature. When molecules that are ferrous become heated, the atomic spins lose alignment with their magnetism. I'm sorry, I'm trying to figure out if you're a flat earther explaining the flat earth or round earther explaining the round earth. But it is true that when things are heated enough, they sort of lose their magnetism. That much is true. I think I will actually put that there. Later, good luck. Thanks. Thank you for stopping by. It was nice to have people in the chat. I don't know. See you later. And like, I'm gonna have to go back through this and reword it and elaborate on it. But for right now, magnet and metal lose ferrous. I don't know how to word this. I'm gonna reword it later when I actually research it. So for now, I'll just say magnets and metal lose their magnetism when heated up enough. And we'll elaborate on that later. Sun, moon, stars. Comment southern circumpolar stars. Sun, moon, stars. Comment. What comment do you mean? Sun, moon, stars revolve above. So you're talking about this? That's a good point. So put southern circumpolar stars. I hate this. This keyboard, I got like the cheapest proper mechanical keyboard I can. It's one of the Red Dragon ones, and I love it for the most part. Except sometimes when I press a key, it'll press it twice. And there doesn't seem to be much rhyme or reason to it. Do you have a good pancake recipe? There's this one video on YouTube. Like, if you just look up how to make pancakes on YouTube, there's one of them that's my go-to. I don't even remember what it looks like because it's been so long. But it's funny because the video actually, I think it says 1 tablespoon of baking powder when it means 1 teaspoon or something like that. But there's lots of comments of people saying, oh, this is way too much baking powder, baking soda, and it turned out all gross. Because they said the wrong thing, and they tried to clarify it in the annotations back when there were annotations that said it, and in the description and in the comments, they were like, we messed up, use less of this, and you'll have comments saying that, oh, it was absolutely terrible, was it dry? They all turned out. Anyhow, when you use it correctly, it turns out just fine, and that's what I did. I did that because it was simple and I could substitute it so that it was vegan, because I try to be vegan with varying levels of success. But yeah. Yep, southern circumpolar stars can't work on a pizza, so they're counter argument to Effie. Yeah, thank you for reminding me. I actually was aware of that argument, believe it or not. I just didn't get there, so thank you for reminding me. Thank you. Anyhow. The moon emits its own light. That's what we were doing. Moon emitting its own light. Shadow created. The sun illuminating half spherical moon at any time. He sees the moons day and night. Okay. Lunar phases vary cyclically according to the changing geometry of the moon and sun, which are constantly wobbling. When the moon and sun are at the same altitude, observer looks, he will see shadow cutting on it when the moon is blown. Okay, so these guys don't believe, or at least whoever wrote this section of the wiki doesn't think that the sun gives off its own light. There are flat earthers who do, but these are not one of them. Time between full moons or electromagnetic acceleration, lunar phases. Okay, whatever, dude. Lunar magnetic, electromagnetic acceleration. States that there is a mechanism to the universe that pulls, pushes, or deflects light upwards. Electromagnetism bends light. I gotta put this in there. I just gotta. Electromagnetic acceleration. God, the crazy things you come across. So, light bends upwards due to electromagnetic acceleration. What do I do? Astronomy, perspective. Does that go in astronomy or perspective? Or physics? We're going to put that in perspective for now. I'll put it down here. What was it? Heading 2. Light bends upwards over long should say electromagnetic acceleration bends light upwards over long distances. And then here we'll put quotations, and I'm just going to put the link there for now. Because, oh boy, this... I would put it in physics. Yeah, but I feel like this is going to be more of a perspective thing when flat earthers... You're right. Yeah, you're right. You're totally right. Cut. Geometry. Physics. Where would I put it? Nah, I guess I'll just put it on the end here. All right, so moon giving off its own. So let's go to the Flat Earth Society .org or .com? Because this is tfes.org. The Flat Earth Society.org. Because I want to see if these guys think that the Earth is... That the moon, that's the one, gives off its own light. Let's go to Wiki. Here. Couldn't make that easy to find, could they? So, let's go. Lunar eclipse might be there. And let's just look up the moon here. The other one was, this one is a bit easier to navigate. Not perfect, not great, but easier than this. Right. The moon, phases of the moon, shifting constellations, stars. Oh, they have a whole bunch of stuff. Uh-huh. Lovely. Very informative. You couldn't have found like a public domain image of the moon. This is the best you can do. You couldn't even put like Galileo's things. All right, this is all right. I know that's where it says moon. Observe the phases of the moon during day and night, a natural shadow. Their phases very cyclically. Is this the same? I feel like I've read this before. Yeah, does it have the same phases of the moon? Let's see, where was it? The moon, phases of the moon. When one observes the phases of the moon, he is simply observing the moon's day and night. When one observes the phases of the moon, he sees the moon's day and night, shadow created from the sun. Shadow from the sun. Okay, so who's plagiarizing who here? Anyhow, if this one wasn't helpful, this one isn't going to be helpful either. However, I think I'd rather cite this wiki, though, because they actually give you the date it was modified and license. I don't know. It could be the same guy editing both, for all I know. All right, so lunar eclipse. So I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to find what I want on Flat Earth Society. Oh my god. This is terrible. Does not all recurring phenomena such as transits of planets, occultations of bodies, and precision of paths across the sky are predictable only because they are phenomenons which come in patterns. So basically, astronomers can only predict things because they have a pattern, not because they actually know what's going on. The silly astronomers acting like they figured things out, which... Hold on. Get better lighting. That's a soft box. That's lighting. It'd usually be out of frame when I'm using a camera that's over here. But nope, that's terrible. I hate it. We don't need it. Anyhow. All right, so let's see. We need the Earth to give off its own light. I didn't think I'd have to do this. But we have to do the unthinkable. We're going to Bing. Let's say moon gives off its own light, flat Earth. Because Bing is a lot more willing to give you conspiracy theorists websites. ChristianWorldviewPress.com. My God. Although technically it's the sunlight's being reflected when we look at Genesis 1. I want the Flat Earthers. Flat Earth Society. See, we have a whole bunch of YouTube videos, but it's a pain and a half to cite YouTube videos, and I'd rather not do it. Bing. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's just they're really good at giving you terrible information, and that's what I'm looking for right now. Many flat earthers believe that the moon, like the sun, is self-luminous. Then why don't you put that as an option in the wiki? Maybe I could cite Reddit. The moon gives... Oh boy. You gotta love it. You gotta love how they destroy science in meme format. What is this? I gotta see what this is. Yep. Yep. Anyhow. Something good. A nice quote I can put in my book. Quizlet. Explain the moon. This is the forum again. FlatEarthMoonPhases.com. I have to see it. I have to see it. Seems like nonsense? Let me explain. Sure thing. What? Oh, you don't even have your name underneath it? You just kind of have your picture here? I love... Look at the little tiny flat earth moon. Look at this. Look right here. Flat earth moon. It's so tiny. This is amazing. I love the text behind the text. I've stumbled upon some gold here. I'm gonna have to... I have to do this. Okay, and this is an image. If you get into calculation of flat earth, the premise is this calculation. 200 miles. I love it. This is beautiful. Can you do it again? No, I'm not gonna do it again. Look at this. Look at this. We're not even halfway through the website. Guys, this is beautiful. And the highlighted stuff. Ah, I love it. We missed the transition again. And they just kind of have a counter. They're not going to say views, days since last accident. It's just, we got 40,198. It helped. This website has helped you and you would like to donate. I really appreciate it. All right, sure. So, no copyright, no anything, just 40,198. I love it. I love it. I assume this is the guy who made it. Moonlight appears tilted. Moon phases, seasons, about sun and moon. Let's go to about sun and moon. This is beautiful. All right. 30 miles in diameter. Okay, I'm curious as to how you got that number, but sure. Sun and moon are only 2,000 to 3,000 miles above the Earth, depending on what. Like, do you not know? Because, like, that's a pretty big margin of error. NASA internet manipulation. All right, so that page didn't have what we're looking for, but I have to see NASA internet manipulation. NASA, in order to survive, needs to confuse people and convince them that the Earth sees the same moon phases each day. As you see in my video, people north of the moon, blah, blah, blah. However, false websites will have you believe that both these people will see the moon lit on the left side, which is, of course, impossible. Oh boy. Alright, so this is fun. This is lovely. How long has this website been up? I'm curious. What is this? What is... Oh boy. Anyhow, let's see. Own. Let's see. Light. There it is. Lovely transition. Be sunlight. I want to see the moon giving off its own light. Alright, I guess he's not gonna explain where moonlight comes from. Who has better here? Bless me. Who has better hair? Me or Plainer Walk? Me. Obviously. Even if I don't have better hair, Plainer Walk has like one hairstyle. I've had like 7. So either way, I'm gonna beat him. Like his one hairstyle is not gonna beat up my 7. All right. So, all right. So I need to know where moonlight comes from. I wish I knew your name so I could call you by your name. He looks like... Doesn't look like an Alfred. He looks like a, Does he look like a Doug? I'm gonna call him Doug. He looks like a Doug. So, Doug, tell me where moonlight comes from. Moon is always full moon. Moon is always a full moon as seen from different angles. Here are all the major moon phases below. Sun is behind the moon. Aha. There's that the moon is always a full moon lit on one side. That's not what full moon means, but okay. Is always lit by the sun. Alright, so it seems like flat earthers believe that, in general, there are exceptions, but a lot of them will believe that it is indeed reflecting the sun's light, which has its own problems. Is that, is that written down? What the fuck are you listening to? Was that? Thank you for the $3, number 6, for answering the hair question. No problem. Just remember, the Plainer Walk isn't better than me. All right. Thank you for the 3. The moon emits its own light. We'll say, what was this, heading 2? I totally forgot. The moon reflects light from the sun. All right, here it is. Moon and sun do not work on a flat Earth, though. I agree. You have to... Ooh, I love it. Sun videos help prove the flat Earth. Well, these videos are going to prove you wrong. The shadow on the moon seems to change shape, but it is only the respective angle of the observer. It's basic principle of the moon phases. ... And that is what's happening in the video on the first page. The angle of observation slowly changes each day. About sun and moon. What do I'm hoping that I can cite this website because it's hilarious. So hopefully have something interesting. Equals. You had to write out equals and put an arrow. You couldn't just put the equivalent to sign. Alright, fine. We're gonna go to phases of the moon. When one observes the phases of the moon, sees the moon night and day, shadow created with sun illuminating house. The lunar phases vary cyclically according to the changing geometry of the moon and sun, which are constantly wobbling up and down, changing altitudes as they rotate around the North Pole. When the moon and sun, when the moon is below the sun's altitude, nearer the moon's. All right, so how much do we quote? Hello, Mario. I assume you're telling me hello. Hello. I looked at your channel. Looks interesting. Me or someone else in the chat. If you think I'm interesting, then thank you. All right, so this much we can put into quotation. The lunar phases vary cyclically according to changing geometry of the moon and sun, which are constantly wobbling up and down, exchanging altitudes as they rotate around the North Pole. The moon and sun at the same altitude. The sun. I'm not going to be able to copy the whole thing because then it's going to copy the image. So we'll do this. Control C. Control Tab. The same quotations. But then how do we paste on? Control Alt Shift V. They couldn't make it simple, couldn't they? And then we do the second line. So quotations. Then phases of the moon. Copy. There you go. I think is that how it's capitalized? Yes. Last modified December 2019. So let's see. How did I? All right, so comma inside the quotations, and then 2019. I think that's how we're doing it. I'm gonna have to. I hate the citations. Citations is the worst part. You're interesting, otherwise you would know that buoyancy is the answer to everything. You're not interesting, otherwise you would know that buoyancy is the answer to everything. You're right. You're absolutely right. Are you going to use this information in a video? I don't plan on it, although it could come up in a future video. But no, right now I'm just... this is a sort of pet project of mine, and you get to join me on the ride. Maybe flat earthers don't know how to Google things. I think... Here's what I think. All right, conspiracy time. Google is slowly but surely not allowing flat earth content to be showing up. Or at least not prevalently at all. They're making it very difficult to find flat earth content, right? It's definitely how YouTube's going. What if flat earthers all use Bing? Flat earthers are the type of people to use Bing because Bing doesn't care what it tells you and what it doesn't. Bing doesn't care about being accurate or correct. Maybe Bing is creating flat earthers. I think I figured it out. What's the equation for calculating buoyancy again? What's the G stand for in the equation? I'm not sure if you're asking me. You probably... The equation for calculating buoyancy. I know the overall force, the net force, is the same as the weight of the fluid that it's displacing. But the equation for the buoyancy force in itself, I'm not sure. Logically speaking, it would just be that plus the weight of the object outside of the fluid. Because logically, if you take the force of the weight, then... Because buoyancy has to counteract the force of the weight, right? So if you just take the overall mass of the water it's displacing and then add the weight, just add the two. You know what I'm saying. That makes sense, right? Am I making sense? Probably not making sense. That's my first intuition without actually remembering what it was. Throw up the equation in Wikipedia. Let's show these flat earthers that they're silly. Are the flat earthers still in the comments? I don't know if they're still in the comments, but you know what? Let's do that. Here we are, Wikipedia. Oh. Oh, I spelled it right. There we go. Such a weird word, buoyancy. Or upthrust. I'm going to start calling it upthrust from now on. Equation to calculate the pressure inside the fluid in equilibrium. In this case, blah, 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 boring stuff. This isn't what I wanted, I don't think. Volume of liquid. This one, that's the one. This equation. Flat earthers cannot dispute this because they can't understand it. I'm not sure which one is the one we're looking for. Yeah, something like this. Anyhow, whatever. Upthrust. I'm sorry. I'm just not gonna skim this right now. I'm just gonna focus on whatever it is that I'm not quite focusing on. Oh yeah, the citations. Fine. All right, phases of the moon. Let's take. What was it? Frequently asked questions. Copy. JK element no P. Then change this to, what was it? Phases of the moon? Yes? No? Yes? No? Yes, phases of the moon 2019. So, 7th of December, 2019. So, 20, 19. Retrieved from... There you go. I think that's good. You deplace the volume you submerge. Did I say something else? Yeah. All right, so moon emits its own light. I'm not sure where to find to quote that, because it's only going to be the guys on YouTube saying that. Come on. Go back to Bing. The moon does not reflect sunlight. The sun is illuminating the moon. The surface of the moon scatters and absorbs the sunlight. It doesn't reflect sunlight. Like a sphere, throws a light beam directly back over that. All right, fine, sure, whatever. What is this? Flat earthers disprove themselves. Experiment to their own nebula. Ah, yes, I've seen it. It was funny. I'm not sure if I told you guys this before, but Mark Sargent himself emailed me. I think it's a DVD quality copy of that movie, Beyond the Curve. Yeah, Beyond the Curve. He emailed me that with no explanation, because apparently to him that was like a good thing, that it totally, I don't know, but at the end of the thing, it just it kind of proves them wrong. And Mark Sargent himself, it seemed to be his legit emailed me with a copy of that. It was, I don't know how to respond to that. I didn't respond to that. Like, what do you... I don't know. I mean, it's kind of funny, but it's like, what do you... What do I say to that? Anyhow. Flat Earth scriptures, the moon gives off its own light. Biblical flat Earth moon gives off its own light. Not to be blinded. Okay, this has got to be funny. But first, something is bothering me. I have to write this down. The moon... I have to write this down. What is it? Text body. It is text body, isn't it? Yes. Ooh. Because if the moon reflected light from the sun and they were circling above the earth, there would never be a full moon. If you want to work the moonlight angle, there's always that the Terminator is clearly the shadow of the moon, and craters outline the Terminator should help demonstrate the reflection. Sorry, I guess I'm not running on 100% today. If you want to work the moonlight angle, there's always that the Terminator is clearly a shadow of the moon. And craters and crater outlines at the Terminator could help demonstrate the reflection. That the moon is reflecting sun's light? What do you mean by Terminator? I'm not sure what you mean by Terminator. Do you mean like sorry. I'm sorry. I don't quite understand. Say, at least there's one hole in our DVD. One hole in your DVD, which is much less than the holes in your argument. I stopped reading the Bible because I got sick of the hypocrisy. Sorry, 200 characters is difficult. Oh, yeah. Character limit. Sorry. Do you mean like on the moon where the moonlight starts and stops? Because I should say, when the moon emits its own light, you can see the shadow of craters. Is that how you spell craters? Mountains and valleys. And then I'll put first observed by Galileo. I think the Terminator's division between light and dark. Right. Okay. So on the moon. So if you want to work the moonlight angle, there's always the Terminator that is clearly a shadow of the moon. And crater outlines of the Terminator should help demonstrate the reflection. We say shadow of the moon. Right. The crater's outline of the Terminator should help demonstrate them. Okay, I think I understand what you're saying. So, like, on that Terminator line, you can see craters and such from those shadows. Because I think that's what I'm writing down now. I like that rocks don't reflect light meme photo. Yeah, it's hilarious. It's funny how they think they can destroy science with memes. Is this like a master paper on flat earth arguments or a cheat sheet? So cool. Well, I'm glad you think so. I'm not gonna lie. This is not original at all. In fact, I have it over here. I have really long headphones. Okay. All right. Thank you. Okay. Whoops. That was expensive. What is this? This is a Jehovah's Witness thing. The Counter-Creationism Handbook is kind of like what I'm writing here. It has a whole bunch of arguments, like creationist arguments. It has quotes, and then it's like responding to those arguments and like citing some sources, like further reading this and that. And when I first started making my YouTube channel and I was responding to creationists, like this was amazing. I didn't often end up using the same sources as they did, or at least basing my research off of it. But this was definitely a great place to start, and it's amazing. So the idea isn't my own, but you also can't copyright an idea or like a style of paper, so fuck it. So if you think this is cool, that is also. And I just thought it'd be cool if like the same thing existed, but with this. But now I'm like 3 years too late. So I don't know. But apparently publishing an ebook is easy, so. Terminator thinks the division between the light and dark on the moon. Yes, that's what I was thinking as well. We experience the Earth's Terminator each dawn and dusk. Each dawn and dusk. You're there. On the Terminator, you see the shadows and craters, even though the shadow on the moon is curved. Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. Even though the shadow... Which even show the moon is curved. Right. Absolutely. Shadow of the Moon. Great name for a book or movie. Yeah, that's the name of my band. My Round Earth band. Shadow of the Moon. I don't know. It sounds too similar to Dark Side of the Moon, I guess. I don't know. And then... Why isn't anything else affected if electromagnetic energy keeps the sun hovering above the horizon? The moon emits its own light. I guess I'm gonna have to cite a YouTube video. What does this say?
This is nighttime. Let's go. Please.
Nah. If we can find a Jeranism video, that'll be fun. We got the Potter's Clay. Is that... The Bible tells us that the sun and moon are two separate lights. Yeah, the Bible also says that there were giants.
If you try and
a giant sea serpent. So,
light upon a sphere, it does not light up.
Oh, this is this.
I want to put one of them under moon shade.
I think it was Professor Stick who responded to this. I don't know if it's this exact video because flat earthers like to take videos and plagiarize. But I don't know. This is pretty cool. Small world. Small, flat world.
This guy right here is using a couple of boxes. Light is the exact opposite.
To my 85-year-old uncle's house and did it in his front yard, and he made me go buy him one.
It's funny the lengths that these guys will go to try to prove their crazy ideas. It's funny. If the moon was meeting its sunlight, you wouldn't see any shadows of the moon, plus you don't see any shadows on a light bulb. Very good point. Very good point. Still, this is incredible. I mean, I've always thought about if there exists such a document, please release this. All right, I will. I think I'm going to have to do 5 live streams of this a week until it's published. Then I'll do a limited release, a limited physical release. Maybe I don't know. I'd have to do cover art though. I hate cover art. Radiative cooling is a thing. It like that affects radiative cooling. You've got cold light on your list as well. Yeah, I do, don't I? I remember. The moon emits its own light. Moon landing. Where did I put it? Because I feel like I put it here. Somewhere here. I thought that I wrote it down here somewhere. I guess not. the moon emits, what do they call it? Gives off a cold light. Gotta love the cold light. It's like Coors Light, but not as refreshing. Are you saying you enjoy Coors Light? You know what? Never mind. Never mind.
55, 59, 62, 61.
You can't record temperature off of a reflective... You know what? Whatever. Whatever. Go to videos. Okay, anyhow. Flat Earth Moon has its own light. Can we filter length, date, price? Alright. Didn't know we had paid videos here on Bing. That's interesting. Concentrated moonlight cools water much faster than non-illuminated flat Earth. God, this is nuts. Hey, there he is, Professor Stick. That's exactly, I think that's exactly the video I was talking about. Flat Earthers conduct and fail experiments on moonlight. The moon gives off her own light. Now we're personifying the moon. I feel like I looked at this one before. A look at Earth's old moonlight. Yeah, this is just the one I was just... No, it's not. Yes, it is. No, it's not. Yes, it is. All right, let's look at this one.
Hello, Flat Earth researchers, debaters, and debunkers.
What's this guy? Oh, this guy. What the hell is concentrated moonlight? Can I add water to it and get ordinary moonlight? That's a good question. I feel like they just used a magnifying glass. You know how you use a magnifying glass to burn ants by like diverting light into one point? I feel like that's what they're talking about. Because what you're thinking about is moonlight from concentrate. This is concentrated moonlight, which is different. I don't make the rules, I just work here. My God, that voice going, hello, Flat Earth researchers, debaters, and debunkers. Sends chills down my spine. Where was it? Oh, I didn't click on it? Oh, I gotta click. Zeticism.com. Now I gotta see if this is a thing. You know what? I'm gonna do it over here just in case it's porn. It literally just redirects to this YouTube channel. See, like if we go Zeticism.
Putting the moonlight in a beam through one glass to see what would happen to the temperatures. And sure enough, one did cool significantly faster. I didn't have very good results. I had a hazy night. The moonlight was therefore not at full strength. It's not even full moon. That's tomorrow. There's a lot of
right, it's the
discussion out
hazy
there
night. That's why you didn't
about
get clear
moonlight.
results.
Got different flat earthers fighting with each other. Some saying, well, it's the same spectrum as the sun.
Are we good? I think we're good. Okay, I think we're good. I think we're back. Like I said, nothing I can do about my crappy internet. Try to deflurf your internet. I can get clogged up with stupid. Yeah. I gotta turn off my torrents real quick.